Extended series has been an exciting journey, and we've had a chance to talk to people from all over and who have different backgrounds and different experiences. And the beauty of it is through it all, we've seen that there's been some consistent themes of tenacity, of drive, determination, focus, of empathy, of love, kindness, all kinds of emotions and things that have really driven and helped people get through this process. So today I'm really excited to have with us Pastor Quarles and Lady Quarles from Whosoever Will Ministries in the Bronx, New York. Pastor Quarles and Lady Quarles, how are you doing this evening?
We're doing
Fine.
great.
How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Good. No, thank you for being a part of this. I mean, I think we've had a chance to talk to a couple of people in the New York area, and this is a very unique experience, I know, for you all, because you're living it real time. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on with Whosoever Will Ministries and some of the adjustments you've made in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, the biggest adjustment is that it was a slight adjustment, because when we began, we had already been doing a virtual service, a Bible class on Thursdays. And all we did was we had to expand that so that it reached out to more. So now we have a day of prayer on Tuesday, a class on Thursday, a service on Sunday. And then we've done some connection things.
Right. And we've created a studio in our home, which is where we are now. So, so I think it was excellent that we already had the members working with Zoom, but with the connections, as he's talking about, we were able to reach out to other people that we know from all over the world now, because we're on Zoom. So anybody can dial into Zoom and be a part of our worship. So we've been able to really engage with other people, as well as we've done things to engage with our congregation. So we've had Pastor and Lady Q meeting with the brothers and with the sisters. And also we had time with our young adults, as well as with our seasoned saints.
Right.
Well, so tell me, one of the things when we deal with our audience is we try to give them context. So give me a little bit about the Whosoever Will Ministries history, just to give our audience a little context.
Well, Whosoever Will is a Baptist church. And what happened was we had outgrown the space that we were in the Bronx, and we were going to move to Manhattan. And so what happened was it was suggested that we move to ministries so we could keep two entities away from each other. And so Baptist church would have nothing to do with ministries. Ministries have nothing to do with Baptist church. So that was kind of the origin. It was because we were on the move. And once we moved to Harlem, where we were getting different members and growing our ministry, that's kind of how we started.
Oh, wow. No, that's exciting. Now, speaking of exciting, what I know is that you all have a new status. You've recently gotten married, and it happened quickly, and then the world started shifting. Talk to me about how dynamic that period has been since the wedding this past summer all the way to now.
Wow.
All right, I'll let you go first. Go
well, we have a lot more time together now, so because I'm working from home every day. I will say, we had just moved in together, of course, after getting married, and we had decided which room would be what. And being that he's a pastor and he's here all day and I'm at work, he had an office. And notice I said had. Now that office that was his is now mine again. So we've had to make some adjustments in the house with that. But it's been good spending time.
Yeah, we had already kind of decided where we were going to be. And so I worked kind of mainly in the office because I have day hours. And then if she was coming home, she really didn't work in the office. But now that she has to be, on Zoom, it's not probably your webcam all day, she actually gets dressed up and goes into the office like she's really going into the office. Like every time she gets dressed and gets a pocketbook and everything, she goes inside. And then she comes out for lunch. She comes out, to do certain things. But for the most part, that's her office now. I'm downstairs now. I don't have an office anymore.
But I would say one other thing that we've really enjoyed in this time is we've been starting to focus more on eating healthy. Mm-hmm. So we've been cooking a lot. At first we were cooking everything we could think of that wasn't healthy, but now we've gotten to a place where we are like, this week is vegetables and fruit only. So we've been trying to make this a time of focusing on our health, focusing on our finances, focusing on our relationship. So we've really been making the most of this time of staying in the house.
We are all looking forward to something when this is all said and done. And Pastor Quarles, I know you agree that this will be over soon, right?
This will be over.
So talk
yes.
to me a little bit about what are some things you're looking forward to doing once this thing is all said and done and we've actually lifted all the restrictions that we've been having.
I'm going to let my wife go first. Okay.
So first of all, we want to take our honeymoon. We didn't get a chance to do it for different reasons. Right before the wedding, unfortunately, my husband was sick. So we did. So we got through the wedding, but didn't get to go on the honeymoon. And then we were going to do that this year. And of course, we're not traveling anywhere right now. So that's one of the things we want to do.
Because we were going, she didn't know it. She knows it now. We were going to Italy.
Right.
I can probably bet that we are not going to Italy, okay? Italy was like the epicenter for a while. We've kind of decided we don't want to go to Italy, but go ahead.
Yeah, so then on a personal level, also I want to go see my family. As you know, I'm from Alabama, live in New York. I would have been home probably twice by now this year, and we have not been down at all. So that's one thing I definitely want to do when this is over. And then as far as the ministry, I'm just ready to see the membership. You know, we see them every week on Zoom. I'm just ready to see them and hug them and love on them and just be able to see their smiling faces face to face versus through a device. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, for us, what I've been trying to do is reimagine our marriage. And so I've been spending a lot of time on our economics. When everything is shut down, you kind of realize you can't just spend money because there's no way to spend money. So what we did was, what I've been doing is like really looking at our finances, really working on us putting money into savings, putting money in the storage so that when we're finished, when this is over, we're not playing catch up, but that we're right on target, there's money saved, and we can have what we need to have. As far as the ministry is concerned, you know, it's going to be different. Why? Because Zoom and YouTube and, you know, streaming is in our lives forever. Whatever church is not doing it is now doing it. And so whether we are, now we're at home in the studio that you see, we're going to be at the church. So we will have members, because we picked up virtual members since we started. So you can actually join our church virtually. And we don't want to take that away from them. So when all of this is over, all this is done, we will still be Zooming, but we'll be Zooming live from the church. So I'm looking forward to, somebody goes to the hospital, I can actually go see them. There's a funeral, I can actually be there. There's somebody who needs to be ministered to, I can minister them there. So I think my biggest excitement is going to be, actually, I'm probably more excited about either seeing the seniors or the children. Okay? Everybody in the middle, I love them, but not as much as I'm going to be excited about seeing the senior people and the children people. Because even when we go back, until there's a vaccine, our seniors won't be able to come. And so it'll have to be when all of that stops, and we'll actually get to see them and be around them. So I think that's what I'm excited about.
That's really, really a lot to look forward to. But I love the fact that you highlight the seniors and the children, right? Because that's a very, very special group, and it really defines the top and bottom, if you may, or the in and out of your organization. Mm-hmm. What you all have been doing through this is playing a very critical role on the front line. Ministry is front line. I mean, I know that many of us are picking up the phone and calling our pastor real time, or texting, or looking forward to that video of encouragement. I want to give you a platform. Give us some words of encouragement that will really help lift up some spirits through this particular project.
So one of the things that I've been doing, and I encourage all of you to do, is use this time to just reflect on your relationships. I know sometimes you're going through life, you end up in relationships that are really not positive and they're not good for you. So there was something I heard a long time ago in a sermon, and it was shared that in all relationships, there should be love, laughter, loyalty, and learning. I would just suggest to you at this time, think about your relationships with your family, relationships with your friends, relationships with your spouse. Is there love? Is there laughter? Is there loyalty? Is there learning? And if it is, awesome. And if there's not, think about those and decide, is this a good relationship for me? Because when you come out of this, you need to come out of this in a way where you're coming out with better relationships. You're a better person, because we want to come out of this all together better.
Pastor Quarles, I want to shift gears to you. As a Black man in America, experiencing what we're experiencing. We were talking about pandemic, but we also know there are other issues. And I do know earlier you shared with us that you had a prayer session for Black men. Can you talk about that prayer session, but then also share with us some words of inspiration to help us get through all of this, the visible virus and the invisible one, the challenges that we're having with race tension in the country, but then also the challenges that we're having as it relates to making sure we're staying healthy. So why don't you just give us some words of inspiration?
Well, you know, it was Timothy Wright who wrote a song that said, "I'm so glad that trouble don't last always." I'm of the mindset that we are in this moment, we are having this moment, but it's a moment. It will not last forever. We will not have to protest forever. We will not have to be locked in our homes forever. We will not have to carry sides. We will not have to see the outrage that is going on. What we do know is that at the end of the day, God will have his way. And what I want people to be encouraged by is that this is not the first time America has been through a problem. It's not the first time we've been through a problem or your family's been through a problem. It's not the first time. And so what got you through the last time will get you through this time. Everybody's asking the same question, where is God? God is the same place he was when they crucified his son. He is still on the throne. He is still in control. He knew about the pandemic before we did. He knew about the racial tension before we did. And the question is, when you come out, how do you want to be? I want to be, like another songwriter said, I want to be stronger. I want to be wiser. I want to be better. I don't want to come out of any of this the same as I came. So my encouragement is that if everybody just looks at what you could do, look at how you could be, where are the places you can grow, this is the time to do it, so that when the pandemic is over, when the tension is over, when you come out, you are better than when you went in.
When you come out, where do you want to be? Compelling words, to say the least. Thank you, Pastor Quarles, and thank you, Lady Quarles, for taking the time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad to be here.
So for those of you who are tuned in with us, this is the Pivot Series, and we just heard a great set of inspirational words from two marvelous individuals, and I need all of us to take that advice and guidance, because there's so much opportunity for us to discover how we can get through this challenging time. So until next time, let's continue to activate and elevate for the win.